What does it mean to tame a parrot? And can I change completely the way you see taming a parrot or any animal in this video? Let's find out. Hey guys, I'm Kaylin, the author of The PARROT BLISS Bond and the new book, Get to Know African Grey and Cape Parrots. If you are here to increase your bliss and maybe learn how to tame your parrot, you're in the right place. My mission is to help increase your bliss with your parrot, increasing the love and your experience, hopefully minimizing the need for rescues or rehoming. Don't know how those rescues do it. If you know that this is my golden conure Beatrix, and this is my untamed Indian ringneck Jules, then you're used to hanging out. Thank you for being here. I love my fans almost as much as I love my parrots. So to talk to you about taming, I'm going to tell you that if Jules wasn't on the tether right now, he would be getting as far away from me as he can. He was hand-fed, but by the time we got him at around 4 or 5 months, he was already not used to people. He was used to being in an aviary with other birds. So his perception, the way he processes the world, the way he sees things, was such that he related to birds. Namely, I think that he had some Amazon friends because he likes my Amazons. Now, actually, Beatrix over here, Beatrix was in a store because that's like the only place you can find a golden conure, almost exclusively. And Beatrix was in a cage by himself. He would be brought out to a play stand to hang out around the other birds, but Beatrix basically didn't really get to engage with other birds, and he mostly got attention from humans, so he has bonded with me far more quickly and easily. Do you get a sense of some of what I'm gonna say? Taming a parrot has everything to do with making them familiar with you, making them familiar with the world with you in it, and a world in which they relate with you. They aren't born that way because they aren't born relating with you. They're born relating with their family. They have to be brought around to, oh, look at that. Now he's got the tether. They have to be brought around to start to become familiar and relate to you and basically perceive and think of you as someone they're close to, as a part of their flock, as someone they bond with. That is really what taming is all about. Taming can be done through doing things like training and tricks. Taming can be done through spending time with an animal. So in my case, Jules was for several months flying around my house, getting comfortable doing what he wanted to do. He would come to us for treats, but it started by like not being very close. He was kind of watching the other birds, seeing them get treats and kind of going, oh, I'll take one of those, but not wanting to get very close. Even now, look at that. He's like, oh, I can get off. So I'm starting to try to tame him. The biggest thing and the hardest thing is, have you ever played charades and someone's doing something like, they'll go like this, and if you know that means little word, you know that, and then you just start shouting out little words, and they're like, and you're like, I don't know what this means. Well, that's exactly really what our parrots are doing with us, except they don't get animated. They're just like, and then they pay attention somewhere else. They're like, I don't know what that monkey person's doing, but then they look somewhere else. So one thing about taming is you are also really creating like a common experience in which you're relating and you're redefining how you guys see each other. So with Jules, what I've started to do, because we decided to tame him, with Jules, even though he is my Indian ringneck, and she's not very nice to him. That's typical of an Indian ringneck. So with Jules, I have decided to start to really spend time with Jules, really hang out with Jules. I'm not doing anything right now other than saying hi, offering treats, and keeping him, as you can see, in close proximity. Jules already went for a second time. Yesterday was the first time. For the second time, he went with me to a coffee shop this morning where he was just on the tether, just hanging out. So that's pretty minimal. I'm spending time. I'm saying hi. He's on the tether. Why? Because I'm giving him the time and space to see what it's like to be closer to me in physical proximity. See what it's like to start to share a life experience with me. And by doing so, he is not at a conscious mental level processing and thinking, oh, she's not so bad, but at a different level, because parrots don't have a mental, logical mind like we do. So at a different level, Jules is kind of going, oh, nothing bad's happening. And I have company. And maybe some treats. So I'm letting his experience show him something different. As I continue to do that, it'll change more and more. Jules is not the first parrot I have tamed. I kind of like taming parrots. I like taming them in a way such that they bridge a bird world and a human world. I don't want them to forget that they're a parrot. I also want them to create a new relationship with a human. So I want them to be able to be in two different worlds. And so that is my aim with Jules. And it sounds really simple, but that's all I'm doing. I'm just hanging out with him, but I'm spending a lot of time with him. I am, because Jules is a male Indian ringneck, I also want to see if I can teach him to talk. And so I'm going to try to spend as much time with him as I can. Now, I want you to notice what I just did. Beatrix was kind of playing with the harness, and I didn't know if it got pulled toward me. One thing I don't like about this harness is that, the tether, is that it's a little heavy for my bird. And it can pull his foot down a little bit. And it's lightweight to you and I. It's just a plastic coil. And the coil's nice because it gives him some spring. If he tries to jump away, it's not like a tight pull. But did you see how I gave it a little room? And that's because I want it to not weigh down on him. I am trying to give him the most comfortable and pleasing experience I can. And so that is how I'm starting to tame him. He already at the coffee shop started to squeak a little at me and maybe even preen my hair. So I'm really pleased with how quickly he's changing his mind. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that my premise is parrots want to bond. They're curious about us humans. They're intrigued by us and what we do. And they want to have that relationship. They just want to make sure that they're safe and comfortable, no doubt. All right, guys, I hope this has really helped you, shifted your perspective, and I hope really maybe change your mind about how you can tame your parrot. Because with Jules, I do have him in a carrier some of the day right next to me. So a part of it is really just being with them. And while I don't want Jules to live in a carrier because that's small, it's not near enough space for him, it is ideal for picking him up and taking him to different rooms with me and just having him with me, especially at night. That way he's right by my bed and he's just seeing me. He's just, we're sharing a life. So I'm hoping that more than anything else, number one, it changes how you see taming. And number two, it makes you feel like you can do that, because taming requires time and patience, but that's really, those are the keys. Those are the absolute keys. If you have any questions, please be sure to post below. If not, please be sure to give me one of these and a comment, because that helps my juice. If you want some awesome burb merch, my daughter makes awesome parrot illustrations. Here's my mug. Go to shop.parrotbliss.com. She's using some of what she earns to save for college. I'm using some of what I earn to help support my flock. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.